Hey, it's Dave Wyman from Wyman and Bob. Time for Football 101, and had a week off, so had a little bye week there. I thought we'd go back and look at the New York Giant. Just an absolute blowout, really. The Seahawks playing really good football. A lot of guys hurt, so hopefully the bye week will help them out. I've been looking a lot at Devon Witherspoon. First of all, he's number 4 on the team as far as tackles go. And he's tied for first. There's a bunch of guys that have 2 sacks, but he has 2 sacks. He's got 4 passes defensed, and then, of course, he had the pick 6. This kid is just uncanny. And what I would compare it to, what I mean by uncanny is that, like, he has instincts that you can't really coach. Like, it's just something that I think he has, the way he moves around the field. It's very interesting. What I would compare it to is John Schneider's ability, the GM for the Seahawks, his ability to find guys like that. I mean, why would you take number 5 pick? Why would you take a corner when you have, Tariq and Kobe and Michael Jackson and Trey Brown? Why would you take with the number 5 pick, a corner? And he's just a regular sized guy, 6 foot, 185 pounds. Couldn't pick him out of a lineup. And he is just a baller. I mean, it's amazing the things that he does. But I want to show you a couple of things that he did that I found really interesting. And I think, like I said, it's something you can't really coach. So this is going to be, I'll give it away, this is going to be a 6-yard sack by Devon Witherspoon here. And here is Daniel Jones. Now, you can see he is looking at the coverage, Daniel Jones is. His head is slightly tilted, and he's looking out this way. Witherspoon knows that, okay? So he disguises this and starts to, drop his coverage. And then when Daniel Jones looks away, back to the middle of the formation to get the snap, that's when Witherspoon takes off. And I just think that's one of those instincts. And I'm sure, coaches will tell you, hey, disguise it and everything, but his timing and just the way he does that is amazing. So, and this is evidence of what I was just talking about. And look, this is a risk, right? Because you've got 4 defenders over here for 3 receivers, and one of them is way off. That's Quandre Diggs. So if he, reads this blitz, and this is why it's so key that he disguises it, then Jones is going to have a pretty easy completion. But you look at the fact that Witherspoon was retreating back in this area, and so now when Jones looks away, he hits the snap running. So by the time that he gets to the line of scrimmage is about the time that the ball gets snapped. So he times it up perfectly. And like I said, the way he moves around the field is just, it's just very instinctual. So this is another interesting thing here, and I'm glad our guy Steven was able to capture this freeze frame shot here. Check out his right arm here. And if you go back and look at this, it's almost like he uses it as a stabilizer, kind of. I mean, I don't know why his arm came flying up, but it has something to do with the mechanics of him turning the corner and just knowing his own, body and how he can help himself. It's like I said, it's like a stabilizer or something that he throws up. It was just a very strange little, I think it redirected him a little bit, but it was just kind of a strange little movement. And like I said, he's just very hard to really explain. I mean, it's not like, he just has great instincts. It's not like he's this big, huge guy like Reek Woolen. He's just a normal sized guy, and, he's just got all kinds of little things. We'll also look at the interception return. I think is interesting, something that he does there. And here he is just getting the sack, and, Daniel Jones really never saw him coming, but there he is wrapping him up, and just a great play by him. He gets another sack later. So 2 sacks on the night for him. So here's the pick 6 for 97 yards, and you can see they brought a receiver across the formation. A lot of times the offense will do that just to see is it zone or is it man. The other thing is to just kind of, flood one side, get what would be 3 receivers over on this side. But here's Witherspoon here. Nothing special about what he does here. He just drops back into his zone. And I'm just going to skip ahead here to him. Here's the ball in the air right there. You can see it, and nothing too special about the way he drops back into zone. Just kind of a bad throw, really. But the second he gets the ball, it's like somebody shot 200 volts of electricity into this kid. I mean, he's just incredible the way he plays. So here he is with the interception return, and here's another interesting thing. Maybe I'm making too big of a deal out of this, but it's just funny to me. So he cuts back across Daniel Jones's face there, puts a move on him. And here's the thing, if you get in the meeting room, if you don't score, everybody's gonna give you a hard time. So I picked off Dan Marino, made a horrible run back. That's all anybody would talk about. Meanwhile, I picked off Dan Marino. So for him, he's probably running for his life because those guys give each other a hard time if you don't get in the end zone. So what he does here is he cuts back, and this is another kind of weird little arm thing. And I'll just tell you this because it was really hard to capture it on film. But if you go back and watch that play, he takes 3 huge swings with his left arm to kind of get himself back, going this way. And it's just very strange. Like, he knows his body. Earlier I showed you on the sack where he kind of throws his right arm up. On this, he does like these 3 weird, like it's kind of like a little kid would run around a corner. But when you think about it, it did help bring his momentum back so he could cut back on Daniel Jones. So it's just very interesting. Here's the other thing that he does. He switches the ball arm. So if you can see here, he's running with the ball in his right hand. And so when you're running the ball, a running back will switch ball hands away from where the defender is. So now it's away from Daniel Jones. And when he cuts back and gets downfield where the defender's on the right, he switches the ball over to his other hand. Just another instinctive thing that he does. He just has, like I said, it's uncanny how this kid's skills on the field. And again, it just kind of blows me away that, number one, they took him with the number 5 pick when they didn't really need a corner. And now you see why John Schneider selected him, but also just that he's 6 foot 185. He's just like it's not like Richard Sherman or Reek Woolen or anything like that. Michael Jackson's a big dude. But, this guy, just a baller, just instincts, great player. And now it's really cool to see why John Schneider took him with the number 5 pick.